18 people all supervising my phone rang all day long. 18 people checking in with you. So there's different things. It's a really cool job. One of the things that I want to make sure I don't run out of time on for you guys, because we only have a few minutes, is there's an honors internship program for college-age students. So here's the current requirements for internship. You have to be a U.S. citizen, you have to attend a college or university that is accredited, you have to be in an undergraduate or graduate status, and you must have a minimum cumulative GPA of 3.0 or higher on a 4.0 scale, and you still have to pass the background investigation and the clearance. It's actually a really cool opportunity. In Riverside on my squad, last summer we had 5 interns. It's unusual, it's not what we had before. The honors intern program has changed in the last couple of years. Before, it was only in Washington, D.C., it was only at FBI headquarters. And they've moved it out to the field because we used to have volunteer internships in the field, and then they said no more, you have to pay the kids. Slave labor stuff. So now, Orange County office has one, it's over by the block. Riverside, LA, all the field offices all over the country have them. So if you're in college, we have a young man that goes to ASU right now. So he works for our Phoenix division while he's in school. He works 16 hours a month, so 2 days a month. And in the summer, when he comes home to his family's house in Orco, he comes and works 40 hours a week in our office. And we have him involved in all kinds of stuff. He's helping us right now analyze bank records and all kinds of things like that. So it's a really cool opportunity. They pay you like $15 an hour or something like that. So if you're interested in it, everything that I talked about very briefly today is on FBIjobs.gov. The internship program, the hiring process, everything's on there. Some pictures about the academy, some more stuff today in life. So I think we have like, what, 3 minutes? 4 minutes?
Until 12:48.
Oh, okay, cool. So we have more time. Any questions? I'm here for you guys. You know, whatever you have questions of. There's other things I can go over. I just kind of skipped some stuff, but.
What's the most common misconception of your job?
I don't know. Misconception? I don't know, that we're fat and rich government employees. Probably is probably the most misconception.
If you've watched just any of those like crime shows, what's your take on that in comparison to what it really is like?
They're made for TV. There's a lot of stuff that they get from us. There's a lot of retired agents that consult on those shows. So the thing that you can take from it is a lot of the tactics, like the law enforcement tactics that they do is really good. Actually, the one show the movie that's actually really well done. You guys ever seen the movie Collateral with Tom Cruise? It's the one where he's actually like the bad guy and he's driving around in the taxi and he's trying to kill people, like the taxi driver. Jamie Foxx is in it. So Tom Cruise in that movie, he's like an assassin. His shooting positions, how he shoots his weapon in that movie is textbook FBI tactics. From different positions so the position one, you know, all these tactical type stuff is pretty good. I've been watching, my wife and I have been watching SEAL Team a little bit. A lot of stuff they do on that is very similar. They do some nose stuff. A lot of our stuff, all of our tactical stuff comes from the military. All of it's coming from SEAL Team, Delta Force stuff that feeds down to us. And they recently changed the way we clear rooms and enter rooms and stuff like that. So, you know, it's a very dangerous job though too. I mean, this morning, a U.S. Marshal and 2 law enforcement guys were killed or shot. Marshal was killed, 2 local cops were injured in Pennsylvania. They were serving a warrant at 6 this morning. So I parked kind of far away. I was gonna bring my tactical vest in, but my vest weighs like 60 pounds. It's got a 1/2-inch ceramic plates front and back. It's called, they're called trauma plates. So the normal law enforcement vests are Kevlar, and those will stop a pistol round, but they won't stop a rifle round. So the trauma plates we wear will stop a 223 or a rifle round from like an M4 or an AR-15. But they're heavy. I mean, you're carrying around 65, 70 pounds, and you know, a lot of it's rounds, and I was much more nervous early in my career. I mean, we were talking about it at breakfast the other morning that when I first was new and we had an arrest or a search warrant the next morning, the night before I never slept. You don't want to miss your alarm. You know, they drill you in quantum, like, hey, you can't be late. You're the new guy. Don't be the F and G. And but now it's like, you know, I've been in long enough where your adrenaline doesn't, your tactics and your training kind of just take over, and you're a little bit more calm, and things kind of happen. But take home car to give us a government ride. You have to have a take home car, so that's a huge benefit. I don't put any miles on my personal vehicle. I use government gas. It's great. I mean, you can't complain. there is a retirement plan. It's not as good as some of the local pensions, but we do get a small pension, and they do match the 401k contributions very well. At least they do right now until Congress changes it. But so it's, you know, they force you out. The reason why the 37 age cap there is because they force you out after at 57. So at 57 you must retire, and you have to do 20 years to get your pension. So 37 is kind of thing. There's some leeway now for former military where they let some guys come in a little older. I wouldn't want to be 40 going through the academy, because I've heard every day at 29 going through the academy. I can't imagine what it's like now. The average age of my academy class was like 28, 29 years old. The youngest that I know of in my class was 24. That's kind of unheard of. It's about 28, 29 is about the average age. We had some that were 37 that got in right under those birthday there. Any other questions?
How often do you travel? Do you get to travel the country and go out?
So it's up to you. So I don't move that, I don't travel that much. I don't particularly like the airports, and you're required to carry your firearm on the plane. So you don't get to sleep, you don't get to drink, you don't get to do anything but stay awake and make sure that no one does anything to the airplane. So you know, we have jurisdiction over cruise ships, flights, but I don't do that. I stay local. I have a case right now that's about a $300 million money laundering case that has ties to Florida, New York, and Chicago. I'm probably gonna have to go to all three cities here this year. But you know, the good thing about the Bureau is we got agents everywhere, so we can also do what's called cutting a lead. And go into the computer and say, hey, Chicago, go interview, what was your name, sir?
David.
Okay, go interview David. This is everything I know about David. He's a facilitator of money laundering operations. Chicago FBI, go interview him and tell me what you find. So we can cut leads, so we don't have to travel, you know. There are tons of international opportunities as well. We are in every country that there is a U.S. embassy, there's FBI agents there. There's at least what we call legal attaché, and assistant legat, at least 2 or 3 of them. So in every country that there's an embassy, we're there.
Yeah.
London, Rome, Canberra, wherever you want to go, that is an opportunity to do that. It's very, very competitive to get what's called UIOD, International Operations Division controls it. It usually takes, you know, being in the Bureau 15, 16 years, plus some tours through headquarters, some management time, but you can go. During the Iraq War, there was guys going for 4 months to Afghanistan and Baghdad all the time. And back in those days too, before we had a couple agents get injured, we were embedded, our HRT guys, our hostage rescue team, those operators were embedded with the SEALs and the Rangers and stuff, and they were doing, you know, they were going out and finding Taliban, for lack of a better term. And, you know, we were there to interview and interrogate and help the Rangers and those guys out. But a lot of that mission stopped, but we are in every country. So like our jurisdiction, that's a good point that I didn't talk about. Our investigative jurisdiction is the continental United States, Alaska, Hawaii, Puerto Rico, and our territories, right? So if a crime happens in Mexico, I have no jurisdiction. None. It's Mexico's land, right? So what we can do is you can ask the LEGAT or the ALAC in Mexico City, hey, can you go interview David? He's in Tijuana. And what the LEGAT will do is he'll ask the Mexican police, please, will you go interview David on behalf of the Federal Bureau of Investigation? So that happens all the time. There's treaties called MLATs, Mutual Legal Assistance Treaties. We get them, we cut them, everybody shares. So we get leads sometimes to interview people for the London authorities. I've had some guys from Scotland Yard here that I shepherded around Orange County a couple times to do some interviews with some U.S. citizens. But they don't have any official jurisdiction or any official law enforcement powers in our country, and we don't in theirs either. We're guests.